Before we start, this is the third video in my series of tutorials on League of Legends. For a complete basics tutorial, click the first video annotation. For a little advice on what character to choose and why you should, click the second video annotation. Now let's begin. On Summoner's Rift there are 3 different lanes that come out of your base with turrets along them. These lanes are known as top lane, middle lane and bottom lane. Different champion classes generally stay in the certain lane, and in this video I will tell you where you'd usually take your champion, and more importantly, why. Firstly, before I start talking about where to take champions, please note that at lower levels people will generally take champions in any lane they want to, and will play 2 characters in the top lane, as opposed to going in the jungle. Until you're level 20 or so, you really don't need to take this advice so seriously, although past that you might get labelled a troll if you try taking an AD carry in the top lane, so be a little aware of that. The middle lane is where the AP carry will go. There are a few reasons for that. Firstly, we need to be in a solo lane. In a duo lane, you will share the experience from minion kills and champion kills. As the AP carry, we are mainly trying to make it to level 6 before anyone else does. This will give us our ultimate and a massive advantage on anyone else we fight. By the time you hit level 6, the duo lane should still be level 4, which gives you a huge advantage in fights over them. The second reason we are in the middle lane is the Ancient Golem buff. I won't go into much detail about this right now as I'll touch on this in the jungling video, but bear in mind being close to this is essential for a middle laner. The third reason for being in the middle lane is our ability to roam and help out other lanes. If you look, we have the option to go help our top laner, our jungler, and our bottom lane. Hitting level 6 and roaming to help your team will win you games alone, so being in the mid lane is a must for AP carries. The bottom lane. The bottom lane is usually our AD carry and our support in a lane together, in what is usually a 2 vs 2 battle. As I mentioned before, you gain levels much slower in a duo lane than a solo lane, but AD carries are very weak early game before they get gold, so they need a support to heal or shield them from damage. Secondly, the reason we have our duo lane in the bottom lane is the dragon, an epic monster who grants gold to the entire team who kills it. I will cover this in more detail in the jungle video, but bear in mind, having 2 champions to help kill it instead of 1 is very important. The top lane. The top lane usually features bruisers, and is usually much more of a farm fest than the middle and bottom lane. Your job in this lane is to get as much farm as possible so you can buy items that will make you tanky, such as health, armor and magic resist, so you can help your team later on in the game. Because both champions will usually have high HP, they will stay in lane longer and stick around to farm more often. This means they will usually stick to their lane and roam a lot less than the mid laner will. Next time we'll be looking at jungling. We will cover what champions can jungle, ganking, the buffs, and Dragon and Baron. Thanks for watching this episode of League Tutorials. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more. Share this video with your friends if they're getting into League of Legends and need some tips in general. The next video will completely be dedicated to the jungle. I'll see you then.